which was very easy with Sean.
Now start losing, Goldfinger. Shall we say, $10,000? No, let's be generous. Let's make it 15,000.
May I see?
There is inevitably the love scene with her and Bond, and it's a classic love scene in that she's going to die afterwards.
Washington, at the White House this afternoon, the president said he was entirely satisfied.
That makes two of us.
Different young men have said they found that little scene really sexy, but it's not sultry. It was playful and fun, I think.
Oh, Felix.
And then there's naughty lines that he has, the typical sort of early Bond innuendos.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I can't. Something big's come up.
We used to have trouble with the censor, and I said, but if an 8-year-old gets that double entendre, then he's a dirty little bugger. So, I mean, don't give us a hard time.
Why,
All right, there's another in the fridge.
Who needs it?
My dear girl, there are some things that just aren't done, such as drinking Dom Perignon 53 above a temperature of 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's as bad as listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
Then he goes off to get some champagne, and he gets boom, knocked on the head.
And Harold Sakata, who played Oddjob, was monumentally strong, but very genuine and gentle guy. And yet, when he gave me that chop behind the neck at the fridge, he put me on the floor. He wasn't quite used to the cinema technique of taking it to the wire and then stopping.
It is one of the moments of the Bond movies, that scene when he walks into the door and there she is, dead and painted gold on the bed. It's a big moment in the Bond canon.
It's weird, isn't it? I think it's kind of sexy, it's kind of weird, and people might think, gosh, I wonder if she's gone all stiff. Now, no naughty thoughts. I wonder if it hurts her. I wonder if she likes it. Doesn't she look good?
Painting a naked girl with gold so powerfully sums up the notion of a man, Goldfinger, for whom the possession of wealth has become a substitute for sex. And that's symbolised by the naked woman killed by the gold. That was quite brilliant.
The girl's dead.
Think?
Masterson, Jill Masterson. She's covered in paint. Gold paint.
I was painted with a very fine, broad, like a paintbrush you'd paint the walls with, but fine sable brush all over.
Everybody was worried that if you cover too much of the body with that gold paint, maybe it would affect her breathing or something like that. We were very careful on that issue.
I don't know how dangerous it actually was, but I had an area in the front of me, because I'm lying on my tummy on the bed, that was left unpainted, only a little area. And of course my scalp wasn't painted, but it was uncomfortable. I felt terribly hot. Getting it off was damn difficult. A week later I went and had a Turkish bath to make sure I'd got all the bits, because it really did go into my skin.
There are certain images which define the age, and in the 60s, you had Christine Keeler sitting on a chair with the back, and Harold Wilson and the Beatles, perhaps Neil Armstrong walking on the moon, and Shirley Eaton painted gold on the bed. Brilliant.
Bond just wouldn't be Bond without his amazing array of gadgets: jetpacks, exploding cigarettes, ski poles that fire bullets. He's always been ahead of the game. Now, everyone's using car phones and personal bleepers. Funny how that plastic third nipple never caught on.
Something we're making for the Americans. It's called a ghetto blaster.
Gadgets are important in Bond movies because boys like gadgets. I mean, that's what makes the world go round. You can't find a man that doesn't like gadgets.
Sheer magnetism, darling.
As I was saying, the very latest in intercepts and countermeasures. Titanium armor. A multitasking heads-up display. And 6 beverage cup holders.
Both the scripts and the gadgets are invented by the writers and producers on the basis of what is really going on in the world. I mean, I think they're looking at the cutting edge of technology.
I was lucky enough to go to lunch in MI6.
Don't touch that!
I said, do you have a queue? And they said, oh, yes, we have lots of queues.
It's my lunch.
Balls queue. Bolus 007.
I want that ready for Ahmed's tea party.
Smile, boys.
Don't use the flash!
In the Bond movies, there are many, many different gadgets, many of which actually have a truth.
This is our special baby rocket. It's very useful for people who smoke too many cigarettes like you.
And that truth comes from Fleming's own experience during the war with naval intelligence.
Very neat.
During the war, the Special Operations Executive, one of the secret British organisations, produced a series of catalogues of the type of equipment that a secret agent could use. Special types of explosive devices, a one-man submarine, attaché cases that explode.
Q Branch has put together a smart-looking piece of luggage for us. We're issuing this to all 00 personnel.
An art director came into my workshops and he said, I want a attaché case made. So I said, well, go out and buy one.
Now, if you take the top off, you'll find the ammunition inside.
He said, but there's a difference. And he showed me a little sketch why it couldn't be bought.
On the side here, flat throwing knife. Press that button there, and out she comes.
He wanted a lot of other things like bombs and tear gas.
Bond does revolve around gadgets, so to speak. The man finds himself in tricky situations and he needs the gadgets to get out of the situations. And, you know, the audience loves that.
Can you swim? And naturally, every 007 has to have the right set of wheels.
You'll be using this Aston Martin DB5 with modifications. Now, pay attention, please.
The favourite was the DB5 with the map. I mean, looking at it now, people have those in sort of Nissan Prima. They have it in those sort of cars, a map that shows you where you are. But that was just unbelievable.
Ingenious and useful too. Allow a man to stop off for a quick one en route.
It has not been perfected out of years of patient research entirely for that purpose, 007.
Car's full of stuff. I think there's a kind of tray of guns that you can pull out. It has kind of Boadicea spikes that come out. It also shoots oil out the back. It's like Wacky Races, really.
I had one of those when I was a kid. Revolving number plates. So they say, we're after P4... No, he spun it now. It's ST... Oh, bugger it, he's pressed it again. Forget it. It's just a silver car.
That was the coolest toy to have. That DB5, everybody had to have that in the ejector seat.
Ejector seat? You're joking.
We did it, for real, on the films.
And it was just so thrilling just to have that little release.
Brilliant. What a car.
Coming up next on Best Ever Bond, things really start to take off.
Stay where you are! It just went so close. You were like, no, it can't be true.